The 2023 MLB season has been an exceptional one, where we have seen young prodigies start to make a name for themselves, and already established stars continue to break records and make history. But who are the best of the best? Well, that's exactly the question we are going to be answering today. Now that all the awards have been given, now that we know who the MVPs are, and who the World Series champions are, we find ourselves in a great position to analyze which players have been the best throughout the whole 2023 season, and the postseason. Welcome to Who's Number 1. In this video, we are going to be counting down the top 10 baseball players in the world, so let's get to it. Number 10, Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll is a player who is so great at everything that all his talents nearly blur together. He makes you forget just how hard all of this is. He is that great sort of old-fashioned player, one that's just great at everything. He hits, he runs, he fields, he just makes baseball look like the easiest game in the world, and we can assure you it is not. It's not for nothing he's won the Rookie of the Year award, and if it weren't for all those stars in Atlanta and Los Angeles, he might have won himself an MVP award too. Carroll played a colossal role in Arizona's run to the World Series, but that was just business as usual for the rookie sensation, whose combination of 25 home runs and 54 stolen bases would have been a much bigger deal were it not for Ronald Acuna Jr. And Carroll likely would have stolen even more bases were he not so darn good at simply hitting for extra bases in the first place, racking up a National League best 10 triples en route to 286 total bases. Number 9, Blake Snell. Blake Snell led the majors in ERA while also issuing more walks than anyone has in a season since 2012. From May 25 through the end of the season, he made 23 starts with a 1.2 ERA, and in 10 of those 23 starts, he walked at least 3 batters without allowing an earned run to score. It was like a 4-month-long high-wire act in which the daredevil refused to stumble. Snell led the majors with a 180 opponent's batting average and a 579 OPS against, and had 234 strikeouts in 180 innings, which was more than enough to qualify as one of the game's best pitchers, earning him his second career Cy Young award. At the same time, Snell is the first pitcher ever to lead the majors in both ERA and walks, and he had a 38-point advantage in ERA over Garrett Cole while he walked 16 more batters than the next closest pitchers. Number 8, Marcus Semien. Perpetually underrated, Marcus Semien almost won an MVP award a few years ago with the A's, and would be a sleeper candidate for one this year if it weren't for that Ohtani fellow. Semien is the closest thing we have to a Cal Ripken Jr. in today's game, and he's played in all 162 of his team's games for the third time in the past 5 seasons. This time around, he led the American League in both hits and runs while batting leadoff in every single game. And he saved his best for the stretch run, posting a 940 OPS with 9 home runs over the final month of the regular season. He hit 29 home runs and 40 doubles and had 100 RBIs, and he also led the AL in at-bats. And to top it all off, he's won the 2023 World Series with the Texas Rangers. Number 7, Matt Olson. How good do you have to be to make Braves fans move on from Freddie Freeman? Matt Olson good. Olson never hit more than 39 homers with the A's, but he has made himself right at home in Freeman's old spot in Atlanta, smashing a stunning 54 homers this season. He led the majors in RBIs and paced the National League in slugging percentage. For what it's worth, his slugging percentage this year was higher than any Freeman has put up in a full season. A streaky hitter who had more than enough hot streaks to lead the majors in both home runs and RBIs, Olson had 10 home runs in the span of 13 games in June. He later snapped out of an 18-game homerless funk with 8 jacks in a 10-game stretch in September. Shame he couldn't save one of those grooves for October though, as he was held without either an extra base hit or an RBI in the National League Division Series loss to Philadelphia. Number 6, Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman departed Atlanta after the 2021 World Series win and has only gotten better. He has improved his batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging rate, creating runs at a rate 52% higher than the league average this season after adjusting for league and park effects. In fact, over the past 3 seasons, only Aaron Judge has added more runs than Freeman after accounting for the inning, outs, and men on base during each plate appearance, but that could change depending on how much time Judge misses because of injury. It's truly remarkable what Freeman is still able to do at his age. He just had the most valuable age 33 or older season by a hitter of the past 15 years, even outdoing what Paul Goldschmidt did en route to winning the National League MVP last season. Freeman set career highs for both doubles and stolen bases in 2022, and then annihilated both of those marks this season. Number 5. Corey Seager. Corey Seager has been one of the 5 best players in baseball according to WAR, and also according to anyone who has watched him play, which is all the more remarkable because he played only 119 games this season. And what's more, had he not missed this many games, he would have given Shohei Ohtani a real run for his money for AL MVP. Despite that, he's led the American League in doubles, but because he missed much of the first month of the season, his season sneaked a little under the radar at the beginning, but he ended up hitting .327 with a 1.013 OPS, and led perhaps the most surprising team in the game, the Texas Rangers, to their first ever World Series title. And you rarely see a qualified hitter bat at least .325 and slug at least .620 in the same season. Excluding 3 instances in the truncated 2020 season, it had happened just 5 times dating back to 2011. Number 4. Gerrit Cole. While everything else in the Yankees has been shaky, inconsistent, or just injured this year, Gerrit Cole has taken the ball every 5th day for several years now and put the Yankees in position to win. He's everything the Yankees could have possibly hoped he would be, and even more. Cole has had one of the most impressive years of his career, which earned him the AL Cy Young Award unanimously, an award that had eluded his grasp in recent years. He was one of 21 hurlers to log more than 184 innings pitched this season, but the only one to do so with a sub-3 ERA or a sub-1 WHIP, let alone both. He also tossed 2 complete game shutouts, which is basically voodoo in modern baseball. Quite honestly, Gerrit Cole was about as good as you can get in 2023, coming back strong after an underwhelming 2022 season. Number 3. Mookie Betts. No one can argue that Mookie Betts is building a Hall of Fame career. Matter of fact, he may already have one. Betts falls just a bit shy of number 1, but he does take the crown for most dominant month of the 2023 campaign, batting .455, .516, and .839 with 11 home runs in August while the Dodgers completely ran away with the National League West title. And it sure was tempting to put him in the top spot on account of his defensive impact, as he was named a Gold Glove finalist both in right field and for the utility man spot. And it is definitely stunning that he went 0 for 11 in the National League Division Series against Arizona. His barrel rate, the rate at which a player hits the ball with an optimal combination of exit velocity and launch angle, is at 27% higher than either of the past 2 years. Betts is among the few legitimate 5-tool players in the sport. He's a gifted defender with a cannon for an arm, but he's also one of the game's fastest players and best all-around hitters, bringing elite bat-to-ball skills and power. Number 2. Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is probably the most uniquely talented player in baseball history, and it took a historic offensive season from Aaron Judge to prevent him from becoming a back-to-back MVP in 2022. He did get his awaited second MVP this year, however. Ohtani is both one of the most dominant starting pitchers and one of the most feared hitters in the sport, along with being one of the fastest runners. And if he wanted to be an outfielder, coaches believe he could become an excellent defender too. What he's doing right now is unlike anything anyone who has ever played this sport has ever done, and we get to see it, right now, in front of us, in his prime. As is, he is effectively a combination of Clayton Kershaw on the mound, and Yordan Alvarez at the dish, plus 20 stolen bases. Over the past 3 seasons, we've just about run out of ways to put into words how valuable Ohtani is, but that pretty well sums it up, and if he had been able to stay healthy and make it through the full season, there's really no question that he'd be number 1 on this list, but there's been one guy who just had the edge over him, and that is Number 1, Ronald Acuna Jr. Now that his injuries are behind him, Ronald Acuna doesn't just look like the superstar we thought he was going to be back in the days before the Braves were World Series champs, he's better. He has won his first MVP award this year, and watching Acuna gradually but inevitably set home run and stolen base history was a season-long spectacle, but did you know he also led the majors in OBP? Or that he became just the 3rd player since 1940 to score at least 147 runs in a single season. Just an unbelievable season for a guy who was finally able to stay healthy for the first time since 2019. He played only 82 games in 2021, when Atlanta won the World Series, and 119 games in 2022. But this year, Acuna has put together a dominant season while playing 159 games and leading the best team in baseball, the very definition of what you'd want from a player to top this list. And considering he is only turning 26 in December, it is preposterous but plausible to think he hasn't even reached his peak. So now we want to know what you think. Do you agree with the list? Did we miss someone, or maybe placed someone too high, or too low? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, if you want to learn who the best 10 players in baseball history are, click on the top right corner. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know by smashing the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our weekly top 10 videos. Thank you for watching. This is Who's Number 1. See you next time.